Join me as I dive into the powerful message that Brian Carn delivered while standing up to Bishop J. Drew. Can I break down the key points and share my thoughts? Brian Carn and Bishop J. Drew are significant figures in the church community, known for their impactful ministries and large followings. Recently, they've been in the spotlight due to a public clash that's left many wondering what's really going on. When Prophet Brian Carn took the mic and declared, "You don't own the prophetic move of God," jaws dropped across the nation. Was it a clapback, a warning, or a challenge to church authority itself? One thing's for sure, this wasn't your average Sunday sermon. Stay tuned, because what he said next may change how you view the prophetic forever. You've heard whispers, seen the headlines, and maybe even caught the viral clip. But let's set the record straight. Prophet Brian Carn didn't just respond to criticism. He dropped a prophetic bomb that's now sending shockwaves through the modern-day church. His powerful words, "You don't own the prophetic move of God," weren't just a rebuttal. They were a direct challenge to an entire system of religious control. But what led up to this moment? Why did Brian Carn feel the need to speak out? And who was he really talking to? In this exclusive breakdown, we're diving deep into the controversy behind the scenes, revealing what really sparked Carn's bold response, who in church leadership may have been the target, and how this statement has exposed major tension between prophetic voices and denominational power structures. You're about to hear the full backstory, leaked details from church insiders, and shocking receipts that most people aren't talking about. This isn't just a soundbite, it's a battle for the soul of the prophetic movement. You won't believe how deep this goes, and trust me, this is where it gets very interesting. Let's rewind to the moment that sparked this firestorm. It happened during a recent service streamed live from Prophet Brian Carn's Kingdom City Church, where Carn, known for his unapologetic delivery and raw prophetic flow, paused the service, stepped forward with fire in his eyes, and said something that left the congregation stunned. "You don't own the prophetic move of God." He didn't name names, he didn't have to, because anyone who's been watching the growing tension within church leadership circles knew exactly who this was aimed at. And here's where it gets deeper. Brian Carn was responding to a wave of recent pushback from high-profile church figures, many within traditional denominational leadership, who've accused independent prophets like him of being out of order, unsubmit, and dangerous to the body of Christ. But Carn's message wasn't about rebellion, it was about freedom. Freedom from systems that try to gatekeep the voice of God, freedom from church politics that silence inconvenient truth, and freedom for prophets who don't fit into man-made boxes. And that's the real controversy here. Because if the prophetic is truly a move of God, who gets to control it? Let's be clear, Prophet Carn's statement wasn't just about pride or ego. It was a declaration of independence from an old guard that he and many others believe is stifling the very move of God they claim to support. "I'm not against covering," Carn clarified in follow-up remarks, "but don't think, because you're a bishop or a leader in some organization, that you have the right to police what God is saying." This bold response has since circulated on social media, Christian blogs, and church group chats like wildfire. And it's igniting some real, raw conversations about control, authority, and spiritual authenticity. But hold up, that's just the beginning. Because what was said after that line is what really exposed the rift between Brian Carn and major church leaders, and revealed a pattern that goes way deeper than most people realize. Now here's where things start to get messy. Because even though Prophet Brian Carn never called anyone out by name, insiders and longtime followers of the church scene immediately started connecting dots. Church bloggers, Christian YouTubers, and even some pastors whispered the same question. At the heart of the issue seems to be a disagreement over doctrine and church practices. Bishop J. Drew has been quite vocal about his views, and Brian Carn has responded in kind, leading to a very public confrontation. This isn't just about personal opinions, the stakes are high, with many church members looking to their leaders for guidance. The controversy has sparked heated debates, with some siding with Bishop J. Drew and others supporting Brian Carn. The relationship between Brian Carn and Bishop J. Drew wasn't always contentious. They've had a history of collaboration and mutual respect, but over time, differences in their theological perspectives have driven a wedge between them. Previous conflicts have been largely behind closed doors, but this recent clash has brought their disagreements into the spotlight. It appears that the tension has been building for some time. There have been subtle jabs and veiled criticisms, but the final straw seems to have been a public declaration by Bishop J. Drew that challenged Brian Carn's ministry directly. The air was thick with anticipation as Brian Carn prepared to respond. Brian Carn's response was nothing short of powerful. He stood firm, articulating his beliefs and calling out what he saw as hypocrisy. His words resonated with many who feel disillusioned with the current state of church leadership. He emphasized the importance of staying true to biblical teachings and not veering off into man-made doctrines. The pivotal moment came when Brian Carn directly addressed Bishop J. Drew, calling for accountability and transparency in church practices. His message was clear: it's time for church leaders to lead by example and prioritize spiritual growth over personal gain. This moment was significant, marking a turning point in their confrontation. Brian Carn's stance against Bishop J. Drew has sparked a lot of conversation within the church community. His message has inspired some to take a closer look at their own faith and the leaders they follow. The implications are far-reaching, with potential changes on the horizon for how churches operate and how leaders are held accountable. The impact of Brian Carn's message will likely be felt for a while. It challenges church leaders and members alike to reflect on their values and practices. As the church community continues to evolve, it's clear that messages like Brian Carn's will play a significant role in shaping the future. What do you think about Brian Carn standing up to Bishop J. Drew? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you're interested in more church-related content, be sure to check out my other videos. Thanks for the watching and subscribes.